Okay guys, in this video, I'm about to share with you 8 fishing lessons I wish I would have known sooner. So today, with what I've been fishing for 17 years, maybe 16 in a boat, and a lot of it's been on my own, and I've had opportunities to jump in the boats with other people and learn. And so guys, I'm just gonna let you know like what I wish I would have known when I started fishing. Okay guys, so the first one is to utilize bait scent. And I mean that by like, you have your Darlick Glip and Go. There's other colors, the red. There's also sprays, a crawfish spray. There's a caffeine spray by Strike King. There's a couple different ones out there, okay? But to utilize it. I remember I was a younger kid and I fished as a co-angler in a TBF series. I did it a couple times, but I got with a guy actually on this lake out here at Hamilton. He wore me out. He actually won the tournament that day. He had like 11 pounds. He put a clinic on with a wacky rig and a shaky head. And I'm back here like I was just brand new to fishing and fishing lakes, and I watched it, But one thing he was doing was dipping his tails in the Dip and Glow, that garlic, okay? I watched it right there, just never did anything about it. Then I knew some other people that did it as well. Then later on through my fishing, I finally decided to pick it up. So that was lesson number 1. So lesson number 2, guys, is to utilize a hook sharpener and to sharpen your hooks. So right when I got into tournament fishing, that was right before KVD made his tear with the deep diving crankbait, the 5XD, 6XD. And when that was starting to be a thing, Kevin, of course, was changing his hooks out to these more expensive hooks that were better. And some people do it, I know, but me as a kid and growing up, I was like, I ain't gonna spend $8 on some hooks. It's hard for me to get a crankbait. I'd rather get 2 crankbaits and a crankbait and a hook than when I lose them. Y'all get it, guys. So, and I'm still like that today. I got some extra hooks, but like I'd rather use a hook sharpener. I didn't really get a hook sharpener until the recent years. I wish I would have got a hook sharpener earlier in my fishing years, just because I know there are times I watch fish jump up and throw it off. I lost some big fish, right? And this right here, this isn't that expensive, okay? This little hook sharpener, I'll put one of these in the description. Okay guys, number 3 is to throw bigger baits sooner. I didn't really get into the big bait deal until probably about the recent couple years. Now guys, I always threw a big crankbait, big worm. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about glide bait, big spoon. There was a time, I threw the spoon, okay? Threw the flutter spoon, caught fish with it. I just did not dive into it. So now guys, with the glide bait deal, big swim baits is very popular. And it was popular, and I've shared the story before. It's even been mentioned on my podcast. Like, I had kids that I coached in 2015, 16 that were all about the big swim bait and glide bait, and I just laughed. And now here I am, got one on the deck, got another one here I'm about to put on, got the big spoon on, which the big spoon, you guys know, is me. So that's lesson number 3, is I wish I would have thrown the big bait sooner. Number 4, guys, is the dock talk. And not just the dock talk, because I wasn't around docks, right? But it's always just looking at the fishing reports and even like your website. So in Arkansas, we have Get 5 Bass, okay? Great tournament website. They gave reports, and for a while, it was before Facebook and everything took off, it was the place. And I remember getting on there, hearing about it, and just looking and seeing what the reports were, and then I would go out and try to mimic it. And guys, I just had no idea like what at that point of my career, like what they were even doing or talking about. And at times I know they lead you astray, and that's the next thing, is the whole leading astray. And sometimes when those reports are out and the dock talks talked, stuff's already changed. So that's one thing. I just wish I didn't hear the dock talk. If someone's like, oh, we're catching them on a jig right here in 25, 30 foot and a black and blue, I just block it out, or whatever it was, guys. I just remember hearing the dock talk, going out right away trying to do it. I don't know, like that, right? People today tell me, oh, I call them like this. Hey, that's great. I love hearing how people catch them, but mainly when I hear like someone says they're catching them like this, I ain't gonna do it that way. Number 5, guys, this one I put into my fishing career earlier than some of these other ones, but it is to fish new water to learn. So guys, when I started fishing Lake Ouachita, I knew there's a couple trips where I fish the same stuff, and I say that like if I caught fish there before, then I go back, and some that's okay. Sometimes you can pick an area and try to learn that area, like a lake like Ouachita or bigger lakes where there's just all this water. You might want to pick an area, but I'll just be fishing these specific spots, specific brush pile. And then finally, when I realized, hey, I need to go fish new water, even on a smaller lake, the smaller lakes, guys, that, you watch No Brewer. I started trying to find every other brush pile in Brewer. I wanted to know every rock spot brush pile on that lake. Millwood, for example, guys, I was trying to find new stuff. Lakes down there where I was at, I was trying to find new stuff. Here right now, I'm at Hamilton, trying to find new water, fish areas I've never, ever fished before. With new water, you learn more. It might be not just learning I might go back there or not. You might find new groups of fish, just see how it all lays out. There's so much to it when you go fish new water. Okay, number 6, and this one was it's a hard topic to talk about today, but it's like you don't need all of these electronics to catch bass. When I was young, okay, and as I mentioned in other videos, my dad wasn't a tournament fisherman or a big time boat angler, okay, and that's fine. I know there's guys that watch this, that is okay. So, but when I was young, I was just discouraged thinking that I need to have 2 graphs up here, have 2 graphs up there, and I just needed to have that brand new boat. Guys, you don't need all that, okay? I'm right here. I do this for a living. I'm in an older boat. Man, I might get a newer boat one day. I have 1 unit right there. I do have the Garmin Live Scope up front. I don't even have spot lock, guys. I still look. I mean, I've talked about it. Man, I still got a 4-Trex, rolling with a 4-Trex, catching, fishing offshore, guys. But you don't need all of that to. Guys, I'm having to switch cameras due to my iPhone storage is full, okay? So, but guys, as I was just mentioning, you don't need to have all this. You could, of course, can catch fish from the bank. Kayaking's real big right now. Aluminum boat, okay? But you don't need to have 3 graphs, 2 graphs up front. You don't need to have 2 up there. Now, if there is one electronics that I will tell you to get, it is the Live Scope, okay? Now, if you get anything, I will say that, okay? Before you get the $80,000 boat, I don't care if you're in an aluminum boat, get a Live Scope. Kayak, Live Scope. That's the only electronic I would recommend. But when I was a younger kid, I got discouraged because I saw these boats and this, that. And guys, you can outfish people with all of that stuff. That's all I'm saying. No matter what your equipment is. Now, of course, having the equipment helps you, and it helps some certain anglers, okay? But there's a lot of people that have this equipment, do not know how to utilize it to their fullest. And that's what I'm getting to now is the number 7, is learning to utilize your equipment. That unit right there. In recent years, since I've had more time on the water, I learned that a lot better. I took time out, and I know I had more time on the water, but it's tough when I was fishing normal. Like when I finally got side imaging, down imaging, was to just go out for 4 hours and just sell out to it. I would do like 30 minutes to an hour, still graph, you know, but I wouldn't just go. And that's one thing I wish I would have done sooner, is just get that and go. I just wish I would have gone and just dug into it. And like I said, I've done that recently. You know, like I said, in recent years, you know, I had more time on the water, even during COVID when I was fishing a bunch. But when I was younger, I wish I would have just, when I got it, went and took off with it. Okay, guys, now number 8. Number 8 is going to be a funny one. It's the spinning rod. Yep, the spinning rod. I grew up throwing a spinning rod, made money with the spinning rod. And then I kind of, you know, I got to a point where I didn't like the spinning rod. Yeah, I just didn't. I didn't like it. And then, you know, I really didn't like it when I moved to Southwest Arkansas and I'm fishing lakes with big bass, and then into Texas. But guys, I wish I would have kept throwing the spinning rod, okay? I mean, right now, you know, guys know in the last year, I've picked it back up and I've had a blast with it. Forward-facing sonar has helped a lot with that. But I wish I would have kept throwing the spinning rod, okay? Now I got 4 on the deck. I need really 8 on the deck, okay? It's kind of crazy. But I really wish I would have kept on the spinning rod, because there's been, you know, even in recent years, even before Live Scope, the spinning rod techniques won a lot of derbies, but something about that light line, the action of that rod gives your baits, it gives your chance more of catch fish. So I wish I would have learned the drop shot a lot better. I mean, I remember fishing with the guy, I'm not gonna say his name, at the Gray, and he wore him out the day I was with him, or he was with me with the drop shot. I threw the fluke and wore him out with the fluke on my bait caster. But I just really wish I would have learned like those techniques more in my younger years. So guys, let me know what you think about this video. What are some fishing lessons you would have liked to known sooner?